Islanders, it's always fun to take the pulse of those investors on Wall Street to see how the cruise industry is doing, and Carnival Corporation did just that yesterday. They shared their Q2 earnings report. We have all the highlights from that, plus a question that a lot of people are asking right now. Carnival has a massive amount of debt. Are there more cuts coming to the onboard experience to pay for this massive amount of debt? We have that, plus a data breach that Carnival experienced just a couple of years ago. They were fined yesterday. We have some details on that, and to see if you were involved, maybe your name was involved with that. Plus, we have news on the fun returning as Carnival announces some of its favorite programs, loyalty programs, and parties are returning. And we have news from Royal Caribbean Group that the entire group, all ships from all 5 cruise lines, are sailing again. Let's talk about cruise news right now on Island Time. A big happy Saturday to all you Islanders. Thank you for stopping by Island Time today. I am Derek, and I am thankful that you and I get to spend some time in the islands together today. We get to drop our anchor right here and enjoy each other's company. I have to apologize for the last couple of days. There was no show Thursday, no show Friday. Some of you even started to reach out and check on me via Facebook and on YouTube. I appreciate that. Amanda's grandfather passed away earlier in the week. The funeral was yesterday. We had some driving involved. I performed the ceremony there at the funeral, and now we are back home. So that's the reason for no show the last couple of days, but we're going to catch up right here. On behalf of Amanda and her family, I do want to point out and thank you for all those who've reached out to us and said, hey, we're thinking of you. We're praying for you. It was Amanda's last grandparent. That's always tough. Let's get caught up on cruise news here. And as we do, let me remind you that tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, Island Time is going live. We enjoy our show every single week with you. We have a blast. We have trivia. We talk about cruise news. We answer questions about people who have questions about where do I stay when I cruise out of Miami? What do I do when I'm in Curacao? We answer all those questions. It's a great party and celebration. I invite you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The easiest way to be reminded is to hit subscribe and click that bell to receive notifications. And when I push that button to go live, you will be notified. Let's talk about news. Carnival has dominated the cruise news cycle the last 24 to 36 hours. As yesterday, they shared their Q2 earnings with Wall Street. We previewed this earlier in the week. As a stockholder, we hoped it would be good news. The stock prices did jump yesterday, sometimes as high as 12%. But the news is not all good news. I can promise you that. The company posted a $1.83 billion loss. Almost a $2 billion loss in 3 months. The last 3 months, the second quarter. That is a huge number. They are still pointing, of course, to the pandemic. But now, for the first time, we're starting to see them mention high fuel cost. They're starting to see that. Carnival and all cruise lines, they buy their fuel, of course, like on big blocks, okay? We're going to agree on this price for this many gallons of fuel that's going to last them for months and months. Well, they're starting to run out of some of those contracts, and they're starting to pay current fuel prices, and they cite that. Carnival, which operates 9 different cruise brands. Remember, this is the earnings report for Carnival Corporation, not Carnival Cruise Line specifically. Carnival Cruise Line is included in this group of Carnival Corporation. They say that 91% of their fleet is sailing again. Ship occupancy has raised, which is good news for shareholders. That means more people are cruising. The ships are fuller. It's up to 69%. And you may be thinking 69%, that's low. If you're traveling Carnival Cruise Line, it's upwards of 100% or more. But it's their other cruise lines in Europe and throughout the rest of the world where that occupancy, the demand is not as much, and it's bringing those numbers down. Bookings have nearly doubled. That was great news from the first quarter. They were the strongest bookings quarter since before the pandemic. One thing I found interesting, Arnold Donald, who's president and CEO of Carnival Corporation, had a question from a reporter that said, would you sell one of these 9 cruise lines within your family of Carnival Corporation to help pay for some of this debt that you have? And he said, yes, it's not out of the question that they would sell one of these nine cruise lines: Carnival Cruise Line, Princess Cruise Line, Costa Cruise Line, Seabourn, P&O, keep on naming them. They may sell one of them. Speaking of debt, listen to this. As of May the 31st, the total amount of debt on the company's balance sheet is $35.1 billion. $35 billion in debt. During the pandemic, Carnival and every other cruise line had to borrow money at high interest rates just to stay afloat, right? Just to stay afloat, $35.1 billion. They shared that they're paying just interest alone, $120 million a month is their interest payment. It's a problem. They shared that it was a problem. And the question that investors want to know, that's who's on the call, right? Investors and those who want to know what are you going to do about this, they talked about the onboard experience. Are you going to cut different things in order to keep this debt under control, to lower this debt? Are more cuts coming? When you see cuts or cost-saving measures on board, this $35 million debt is the reason why. That answer simply, in short, is no. It was great to see the executive leadership team of Carnival step up and say, no, we're not cutting. We have a brand. We have an experience that we like. We don't see more cuts coming. So maybe they are going toward another option. Maybe they do sell off one of their 9 cruise lines, but they're being creative. There's high favorability and confidence behind Chief Financial Officer, CFO David Bernstein, and the executive leadership team. They're churning out new ideas all the time. You saw the sports gaming contract with BetMGM coming. You're going to be able to bet sports on board Carnival ships. That's going to bring some extra revenue. You see the Costa by Carnival concept. Again, they're thinking of ways to make money, new generation streams, new revenue generation streams, and it's going to work. I want to ask all of you Islanders, because many of you have cruised since the cruise restart that's almost a year old. Have you seen cuts on board? If you've cruised and seen cuts on board, please share those cuts in the comment section below, because I'm also interested in, did they cut something for a little while and then they brought it back? Have they cut something for good? Let us know if you've seen cuts in the comment section below, and if you think there are future cuts coming. While you're down there, I invite you to like this video. We have great content today and almost every single day of the week. Give a thumbs up so this video is shown and available to other Islanders out there. Let's talk about our next cruise news story. It involves Carnival as well. There are many questions around this. Let me first say that this data breach that's been in the news is a prior, a 2-year-old data breach. It's not anything new. It's nothing you need to worry about. And really, that's why I'm sharing this story with you. I've had some questions about, have you heard about the data breach going on? It's an old data breach. The news is there's a settlement in the data breach totaling $1.25 million. 46 different states, 46 attorney generals were part of this class action case, and Carnival has settled the data breach that affected 180,000 Carnival employees and customers for $1.25 million. That number seems a little bit low to me. I looked it up. Arkansas, where I live, is going to receive $28,678.23. There were 550 Arkansans affected. But this breach, the security breach, included names, addresses, passport numbers, driver's license numbers, payment card information, health information, and even some social security numbers. It was a big breach. On top of this fine, Carnival has agreed that they're going to implement a whole host of security ideas and security practices to make sure this doesn't happen again, or it's very, very hard for this breach to take place again. That's the latest on the security breach, the data breach. And remember, nothing is new. It's an old story. A settlement has been in place and accepted by 46 attorney generals. I also want to share that some of the fun is returning back. We got great news from Carnival yesterday that the Diamond Lunch, the Platinum Party, those are coming back a little bit early. We knew they were going to be absent in the month of June, hoping they would return in July. and they are back, starting with ships who are selling, well, started yesterday. So those parties are back. Still no news. Carnival shared on priority boarding, faster to the fun, Seuss at Sea, and behind the fun tour. We'll see what happens with that again. Revenue generating, bring them back. Let's get that money back. I also want to share this story with you as Royal Caribbean Group. I can't just talk about Carnival, right? Royal Caribbean Group shares that every single ship across their 5 cruise lines are now selling. Every single ship is back. The Celebrity Infinity was the last ship to rejoin the Celebrity fleet and the Royal Caribbean Group fleet. So the Celebrity Infinity is selling from Florida, took off yesterday from Port Everglades, and it makes the return of every single ship for Royal Caribbean Group there. With the Infinity now in service, Celebrity's entire, of course, 15-ship fleet is in service. I thought this was interesting because Celebrity actually had the first cruise ship to leave the United States with the cruise restart in June of 2021, but they're really almost about the last one to have all their ships back in service, but all 15 ships now are back, and that is great news for cruisers like you and I cruising from the United States. A lot of cruise news, I know. Let us know your comments and your thoughts on the show today. We know that many of you are cruising in the next several weeks. We are cruising July the 23rd on the Carnival Horizon. If you're cruising this summer, let us know in the comment section below. We cannot wait to celebrate with you and to build up that anticipation and excitement. Islanders, we will see you tomorrow. We cannot wait to interact with you. 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time tomorrow. We go live, and we will see you then right here on Island Time.